Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this now Saturday, October 1st, 2022, coming live from Palatial State here in Dallas, Pennsylvania. This week, if it's Saturday, must be the Man with Sports Talk right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Very happy with you once again. It's October, everyone. It's fall. Happy October. Postseason baseball will be upon us very soon. A week from what was that yesterday, September 30th. A week later, next Friday, October 7th, will be the start of playoff baseball. Can't wait for that. It'll be very exciting. The thrilling walk-off home runs, the strikeouts, big pressure-packed situations. Can't beat October baseball. And the regular season is supposed to end this Wednesday, October 5th. It got stretched out a few days because the lockout pushed the season back a week. And we got a lot of football games. Basketball, hockey back before you know it. There's even going to be a preseason Baby Penguins hockey game at 10:30 in the morning. I think against their rival Hershey Bears, the Bears, at Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza in Wilkes-Barre, PA, at 10:30 in the morning on Hump Day. If you want to go do it, or next Friday night at a more reasonable, 7:05 time, you can see them play the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. So Penguins hockey's gonna be back. There's preseason hockey going on in the NHL. The regular season's it'll be starting very soon. Basketball training camp with the Nets. Kevin Durant deciding to come back. Kyrie Irving. Will that all work? Even though they allegedly might want to throw their head coach Steve Nash overboard, but he's going to stay on. So can they all mend fences in Brooklyn and have a big season? Can anyone beat Golden State? Who knows? Probably not. Can LeBron's Lakers be somewhat competitive? Be interested in basketball season. But basketball, hockey almost back. College football, NFL, playoff baseball almost here. And, of course, it is October 1st, so it is my birthday. So I will sing a quick, it's kind of pathetic, I'll sing myself a quick happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Roscoe, happy birthday to you. They used to sing, you smell like a monkey and you look like one too. That's what they used to say as a kid. Or the Spanish version, Feliz cumpleaños aquí, Feliz cumpleaños aquí, Feliz cumpleaños aquí, Feliz cumpleaños aquí, and many, many more. So I'm 36 years young. Where's the time gone? I'm feeling old. I can't believe I'm 36. I almost feel like I should always be about 20 years old, still in college or just out of college. But it is not 2008, The Dark Knight and Tropic Thunder and the first Iron Man movie. It's not the summer of 2008 with all the fun movies I was watching right after I graduated college at Marywood University. And now I have two kids. My daughter's in kindergarten, my little boy's in preschool, and I'm 4 years away from 40, so that is horrifying. But it's okay. Halfway to 72. Happy birthday to myself, 36 years young, and we're going to have a good show. I did another exciting high school football game at Lake Lehman High School versus the Tunkhannock Tigers on the black turf. Under the lights, Friday night lights action, and Lake Lehman, another big comeback victory. At times it was ugly, but they came back from being down 7-0 early. They shut down Tunkhannock's vaunted passing game, only gave up that early touchdown on the opening drive, and then Lehman's defense was very stingy, so they shut them down for the last three quarters, and they got two second-half touchdowns by their backup quarterback, senior Landon Shuckers, who did some wildcat formation, direct snaps, and ran for an 8-yard touchdown run after a big fumble recovery when Tunkhannock was about to take a 2-touchdown lead. And then after he blocked a punt himself on special teams, Landon Shuckers. This is Landon Shuckers shows the whole game, especially in the second half. Number 7, Landon Shuckers, then on the very next play, sprinted the end zone, electrified the hometown crowd, 50-yard touchdown run, and they held on to win. They ran out the clock. Landon Shuckers ran for, what do I have here? Ran for a game-high 180 yards on just 14 carries, 2 touchdown runs, and basically all from direct snaps from the quarterback, because the team itself, their starting quarterback, Gavin Wallace, only threw for 18 yards, but they didn't need to pass the ball. They just ran the ball, ran out the clock, played strong defense, and they beat Tunkhannock. They're 2-4, and now next week, Lake Lehman will play at home against Pittston at 7 o'clock, and Tunkhannock will play at home. Who do I have them playing at home against? They're going to be at home against Nanticoke at 7 p.m. So it should be interesting games. It was a fun game. Lake Lehman High School prevails, wins 14-7. Tunkhannock struggling at 1-5. Lake Lehman got a big win. They were 2-4. Got to interview their winning head coach, Jerry Gilski, after the game. I'll post that on my sports show, DJ Roscoe Sports Show Facebook page real soon. And the sports article will be in Times Later Saturday edition online for free any moment now. So check it out, and I'll be posting. And thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. Quickly, as I said, basketball and hockey could be back real soon. And like I said, the Baby Pens, 10:30 in the morning on Wednesday against the Hershey Bears, their rivals. And then Friday against another rival, the Valley Phantoms, the Flyers AHL team. That will be next Friday night at 7 o'clock. So hockey and basketball coming back. Penn State, they're 4-0. Got a nice big win against Central Michigan, playing some not the greatest of competition so far, but they're beating up on the teams they should, and they'll have to face the Michigans and the Ohio States, Michigan State's the really good teams before you know it, so you'll know what this team's really made of before the season's over. But Penn State, undefeated 4-0, they will play at home at Beaver Stadium at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN against Northwestern. It'll be a nice Big Ten matchup. It should be an interesting one, I expect. Penn State to play pretty well and win, probably by about two touchdowns, anywhere from 10 to 14 points. But I think they'll win by about 2 scores. And they're going to actually sell alcohol for the first time at a Penn State football game. So hopefully everyone behaves and drinks responsibly and gets home safely and get a nice win in Happy Valley. But Penn State's rolling. Hopefully they continue their winning ways with their senior quarterback, Sean Clifford. And then I was wearing it the other day at a Penn State volleyball game, Penn State Grand volleyball game I was covering. I have the Chad Powers, Eli Manning, hilarious viral sketch. Think fast, run fast, and it said, we're not walk-ons, we're run-ons. And Chad Powers, what a great viral video that was. It's a good cause, raising money for charity. So I wear it proudly. my Think Fast, Run Fast Eli Manning, a.k.a. his alter ego, Chad Powers shirt. So Penn State will be playing tomorrow. Notre Dame's won 2 games in a row. After riding the ship with their young coach, Marcus Freeman, they were about to lose their minds why their young coach couldn't get wins, but after losing the first 2 games of the season. But now they've bounced back, beating California, and then on the road against North Carolina last week. So Notre Dame's playing better. Syracuse is 4-0 and about to go 5-0 because unless they do something horribly wrong, they are at home tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the Dome in Syracuse against Wagner. And Syracuse should win that game, and they're nationally ranked. And then actually later today, on my birthday, they're going to play a primetime football game. We're going to Pittsburgh, our annual Pittsburgh trip to go see the Steelers. See the Steelers versus my stinky JTS Jets and Zach Wilson's return. So Stifler's mom, watch out, because Zach Wilson's back. Just kidding. But who knows? Maybe not. But the Jets Steeler game, my favorite team versus my wife's favorite team. We go on a trip every year to Pittsburgh, but this year it's going to be actually with our 2 favorite teams playing each other on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and then a quick turnaround because then 8 o'clock at night they're scheduled for primetime ACC Network. University of Pittsburgh is going to take on, or Pittsburgh University is going to take on Georgia Tech, which just fired their head coaches in shambles. It's their ACC conference opener. I expect Pittsburgh to win big. Probably by 2 to 3 touchdowns at Acrisure Stadium, even though to me it's always Heinz Field, the ketchup bottle. So we'll get to go to I'll still call it Heinz Field. We'll get to go what should be still Heinz Field back-to-back days. So Saturday night on my birthday night, and then Sunday for the Steelers game. So very excited about that. So Pittsburgh will be in action tomorrow. Syracuse will be in action. Penn State will be in action. A lot of good college football. And then baseball, congrats to Aaron Judge the other day on, on Wednesday night. He tied Roger Maris's single-season American League home run record. And, of course, you saw the Billy Crystal movie from back in the day in 2001. It's a great movie. You can find it on HBO Max for free. He had 61 home runs in 1961, even though it was all that pressure. And everyone wanted what everyone thought the true, quote-unquote, Yankee Mickey Mantle, the legend Mickey Mantle, was worthy of that home run record and break Babe Ruth's record, which a lot of people didn't want to see be broken. And they didn't think Roger Maris deserved it. Well, Roger Maris got it done. Asterisks or not, he didn't deserve an asterisk, so he deserved that home run record. And he did it legit and clean. And as far as we know, and you just hope he never fails a drug test, Aaron Judge is doing it clean and doing the right way. So Roger Maris' son, and I believe this very much, says that if he tied him with his 61st home run against the Toronto Blue Jays the other night, it was on a winning home run, 2-run home run to give them the win there, and he tied the record, and so they're not in history. Number 9, Roger Maris, and number 99, Aaron Judge, 61 home runs, 61 years apart, and if he gets one more home run, they lost tonight 2-1 to the Orioles. They didn't get a home run. They got intentionally walked. Just pitched to the man already. It was ridiculous, all the walks. It was 1 for 2 with a single. Still trying to get the triple crown, batting average, home runs, and RBIs. So not just for power. He could also hit for average. An incredible, one of the best offensive seasons in baseball's history. And he's doing it clean. and it's just so impressive. In a contract year, pay the man, as they said in Jeremy Maguire. Show me the money. Pay the man, bring him back to the Yankees, because it would be heartbreaking if if the Yankees can't re-sign him. Whatever it takes, get it done. Have him be the new captain of the Yankees for the next decade. He's only 30 years old. I still think he has a lot of great years left in him. He's proved he could stay healthy the last couple of years. But now if he can get his 62nd home run in these next, I think 6 games left, 2 at home against Baltimore, Saturday and Sunday, weather permitting because of the crazy hurricane. Hopefully everyone's safe down in Florida and in the South, where the hurricane is causing havoc. And then 4 games in Texas. If he can get one more home run and get to 62, he's already tied it, so at least that pressure's off. But he can get it, the American League record all by himself. In mine, and according to Roger Maris' son, Roger Maris Jr., who was traveling with Aaron Judge's mom and supporting Judge during his home run chase of his father, he believes he should be the true home run king, single season home run king, which I still believe, just like Hank Aaron should be the overall home run king and not Barry Bonds' single or career home run record, because those are fabricated several numbers. At least put an asterisk on those. Don't have to wipe them out. They actually hit the home runs, and you could be a mediocre crap player. You're not going to hit 73 home runs in a career, or in a season, or 762 career home runs. But it definitely helps if you're a great player, and then you take a performance-enhancing drug. So put an asterisk saying these are the steroid records, and make them separate, and then the clean records. So as much as you can, I hope they do that one day. As of now, they're not. It's a great debate, great public fodder. Roger Maris' son believes that if he gets to 62 home runs, then Aaron Judge is the true home run king, and hopefully he'll get that. At least, no matter what, he's tied the great Roger Maris, who hopefully one day will get in the Hall of Fame as a veteran committee selection with 61 home runs, and he's going for 62 in the next few games. So maybe he'll do it on my birthday, because October 1st, 1961, 25 years ago before I was born, Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth's home run record, got his 61st home run on October 1st against the Red Sox. Now it would be Kismet would be October 1st, not against the Red Sox, but against another AL East rival, the Baltimore Orioles, on October 1st, 2022, 61 years ago. And maybe today could be the day, if the weather cooperates, that Judge will get the home run record for himself. And of course, Albert Pujols got a 700th career home run the other night, last week, and then he got a 701st home run tonight to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-1. Congrats to the great Albert Pujols, who, if it wasn't for injuries and a pandemic shortened season 2 years ago, he'd probably be the home run king. So great Albert Pujols got to over 700 home runs with a great second half, and they were going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs, the Cardinals, for his final year of his career, going back where it started in St. Louis. So amazing to see. And another interesting I'm watching right now. What's the score here? It's 1-1 Mariners and A's, and if the Mariners can win, their match number is 1. The Mariners win tonight, they can clinch their first playoff appearance in 21 years, since 2001, and that was the year Albert Pujols was a rookie. So it's crazy that now he's a rookie, and now it's 22 years later, 21 years later, his 22nd year of his career. It's Albert Pujols' last year of his career, and now the Mariners might finally get into the playoffs, just like the Phillies, if they don't choke. They won today 5-1 against the Nationals. In game 1 of the doubleheader, and the game 2 got wiped out with rain in Washington, D.C. But the Phillies now match number is just 5 games, and they can get the playoffs for the first time since 2011 in 11 years. So hopefully the Phillies make it. Hopefully the Astros can make, well, not the Astros, I can't stand the Astros, but they clinched the number 1 seed in the American League. They're going to be a tough team to beat. Hopefully the Phillies can make it. Hopefully the Mariners can break their playoff drought. Who else? The Tampa Bay Rays, they clinched. What just happened here? Seattle Mariners just hit a big home run, and I think that was a walk-off. Let me see. Yeah, 2-1. Mariners win. Mariners are going to the playoffs. That'll be October baseball, and for the first time in 21 years, congrats to the Seattle Mariners. Just watched it live on TV while we're doing the sports show. The Seattle Mariners win 2-1 on a walk-off home run over the Oakland Athletics, and they are in the playoffs. And hopefully the Phillies can sing. So congrats to Seattle Mariners. That playoff drought, the longest playoff drought, current playoff drought in baseball, in current history or whatever, is over. So congrats to the Mariners. They are in the playoffs, and I'm very excited about that. Tampa Bay Rays got the playoffs 4th year in a row, so even with a low payroll, they make it work, and with their money ball techniques, they find a way to get it done. And and just very fun to see. So hopefully the Phillies can get in. Mariners just got in. Yankees and Mets are both in, but the Mets are battling for that division with the Braves' big 3-game series in Atlanta, and the Braves won 5-2 over the Mets ace Jacob deGrom tonight, who pitched well, struck out 11 batters, gave up 3 runs in 6 innings, but it wasn't enough. And the Mets called up their top prospect, Alvarez from the Syracuse Mets. So that'll be exciting. He DH'd tonight in his debut, didn't have a hit, but the Mets are definitely in the playoffs. But if they don't win this division, they'll have to, the new playoff format, they'd have to get to host all 3 games at the higher seed in New York, but they might have to, after having the division almost all year, they might have to be a wild card team because the Atlanta Braves, the Mets have won a bunch of games. The Atlanta Braves are nipping at their heels, and they're winning almost every day. So it'll be a very interesting race to the finish of who's going to win the NL East. Hopefully the Mets could, cross my fingers, find a way to get in as a division champion. But no matter what, it'll be interesting playoff baseball at Citi Field for the Mets. And like I said, the Yankees, they clinched their division the night before Judge tied the home run record. So they are locked in the number 2 seed. So they have a first-round bye. They will not have to play in the best-of-3 wild card series at the... they won't have to worry about that. And they'll have home field advantage. And they right now would play the winner of, I think it's going to be Seattle versus Cleveland in the wild card series. That one I would think Cleveland would get, but who knows? And maybe it would be Cleveland at Yankees, or maybe Seattle at Yankees, like it was in that thrilling 1995 American League Division Series when Griffey came around home and the Mariners broke all the Yankee fan hearts, including me as a little boy. So playoff baseball is going to be upon us real soon. And Dodgers have set a wins record. They're at like 108 wins, most wins ever in Dodgers franchise history. Right now, the 2 favorite teams, if you really made me choose, I'd probably say the Dodgers and Astros. And the Dodgers hopefully get revenge over the Astros cheating scandal that beat them in the 2017 World Series. And the Dodgers beat the Astros in 7 games in a Classic World Series. That probably is what's going to happen, but I'm still holding out hope. New York versus New York Subway Series, like in 2000 when I was a freshman in high school at 14. Now it's 22 years later, as I'm 36 today, and I would love to see the Mets and Yankees go to the World Series, even though I know it's a long shot. But as they said, it can happen, as JP said in Angels in the outfield. But probably, if I had to pick going now in October, I would probably say Dodgers over the Astros in the World Series. But again, congrats to the Mariners. That was thrilling to watch them hit on a walk-off home run and clinch a playoff spot. So playoff baseball here for Pujols got his home run milestone last week. Judge got it this week. Hopefully he can get number 62 and be, in my mind, the true home run king. Because Sosa, McGuire, and Barry Bonds, all great players, but all allegedly cheated, and I don't think their numbers really are, they're more like Mickey Mouse wrestling, pro wrestling numbers that I don't consider legit, because I don't think almost anyone could hit 73 home runs in a season clean, legitimately. So Judge is doing it great, hitting for average and hitting for home runs in a contract year. Pay the man and show him the money. So I digress. So we talked some baseball. Rail Riders season ended, unfortunately. They won 3-0 in the last home game on Wednesday, but we'll miss them. But now Baby Penguins action will be upon us with local pro sports still. But we talk baseball as we get ready for the playoffs. Basketball, hockey coming back. Penn State football tomorrow. Drink responsibly, friends. And now let's get into week 4 of the NFL schedule. As the late, great Heath Ledger said in The Dark Knight. And here we go. That's the Joker. On Thursday Night Football on September 29th, the other day. It was on, of course, Amazon Prime exclusively. And I could just know that the older people in my life who are trying to find the game, like, where the heck is this game? They cannot find this Amazon Prime. But it's not that difficult, and I'm getting used to it. You know, I'd rather be on regular TV. And they take the great now, Michael's Kirk Herbstreit, the college football guy, broadcast games. The Dolphins, who were 3-0 after coming off a thrilling victory over the Bills last week in Miami. Tua, in my mind, had a concussion, wobbled on the field, very scary, and then came back and played great in the second half, and they won. Probably shouldn't have been allowed to play 4 days later. They claimed it was just a back issue against the Bengals. He, of course, suffered a horrible-looking injury. His fingers seized up. It was very scary, and it looks like he definitely had a concussion this time. And to get 2 concussions back-to-back, would you even risk getting a third one back-to-back? You would think you'd have to let him sit for a little while, but who knows? Hopefully, the doctors, people will listen, and you care about CTE. Everyone says in the NFL, hopefully you're not rushed to out there. I'm sure he'll want to play. I'm sure Miami wants him to play. The Players Union wants to investigate it. It should be interesting what they find out, if any wrongdoing was happened. But Tua, hopefully we'll make a speedy recovery. But anyway, the Bengals get a nice home win in their crazy white Bengal Tiger uniforms, and the end zones were white. Joey Burrow, he's as ice water, he's got ice in his veins, and after starting off 0-2, after losing the Steelers in a crazy opening game because they couldn't kick an extra point with the backup long snapper, and losing the Cowboys with their backup quarterback Cooper Rush, everyone's like, oh, the sky's falling. the Bengals went from going to the Super Bowl last year to now being horrible. Well, they've won 2 games in a row, so the Bengals look pretty good, actually. They beat my stinky Jets on the road in New York last week, and now they beat a previously undefeated Dolphins team in Cincinnati. So 27-15, Bengals dominate the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. So very interested to see where the Dolphins go, what happens with Tua. As they're 3-1, but what will happen in that situation, depending on if their quarterback's out for a while. And with the Bengals, where do they go from here now? They've won 2 in a row after they started off 0-2. All right, and now on Sunday, October 2nd, we actually have our first of the international games. Now that people aren't as nervous about COVID, they can travel overseas for these international football games, just like give it back in the old times. So that's nice and welcoming thing. Where Sunday, you're going to get to watch football from 9:30 in the morning in the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast, all the way to about midnight when the Sunday Night Football game is over. So 9:30 a.m. only on NFL Network from London, England. Vikings at the Saints. Vikings came off a nice comeback win over the Lions last week. Got that one right. The Saints, looks like they're not going to have Jameis Winston be at quarterback. No Michael Thomas wide receiver. Andy Dalton, the redhead ginger former Bengal quarterback, to be the starter. It should be very interesting. Bucks finally crushed the Saints last week. Tom Brady finally got that burner off his back after the Saints had his number for a while. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins will get it done as long as he doesn't play in prime time on Monday night or Sunday Night Football. He does very well, especially I think he'll do well in a 9:30 London game. But I think the Vikings will get it done. Saints are banged up. Andy Dalton, I think, will be mediocre. He'll do a decent job, but to me, he's just a serviceable backup right now. I'm going to go with the Vikings over the Saints. I'll go with 27-17. They win by 10. 1 p.m. on CBS, the first of the 9 1 p.m. early games on Sunday. 1 p.m. on CBS, the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going with the Browns to win here. The Browns got a nice win on Thursday Night Football last week against the Steelers. That was an ugly game at times. The Falcons overall, I think, are garbage. I don't think they can do anything this year. I'm going to get the Browns. The Browns will get it done. Strong defense. Powerful running game with Kareem Hunt and Chubb, and the Falcons, as I said, are one of the worst teams in football. So I think the Browns will get it done. Jacoby Brissett doing a decent job until Deshaun Watson possibly can come back in December after his suspension is over. So I think the Browns will beat the Falcons, and I think it will be a pretty lopsided game. I'm going to go with 33-17. They win by 16. 1 p.m. on CBS, I'll go with Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with Nana Fran's Bills. They bounced back after they almost were able to spike the ball and maybe kick a field goal to beat the Dolphins. That the Dolphins punter almost blew the game, punting the ball right into his teammate's butt. It was almost as bad as the Mark Sanchez New York Jets butt fumble on Thanksgiving, but not quite. Dolphins still found the way to win that game. The Bills had a lot of injuries and cramping up in the Miami Heat with Stephon Diggs and company, but Josh Allen is still, in my mind, one of the best quarterbacks in football. He will bounce back. It should be a great matchup. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, 2 great young quarterbacks, and drafted in the same draft class, I think, in 2018. And Lamar Jackson playing in his contract year saying, show me the money, just like Aaron Judge. Had a nice big win over the New England Patriots. The Ravens dominated that game. I'm going to say Josh Allen won't be easy. We'll go into Baltimore on the road, and I think the Bills will win this game. I think they'll win on a last-second field goal by 3 points, 27-24. Both defenses are pretty strong. The offenses are pretty solid. Both quarterbacks can run and throw the ball very well, but I think in the end, Josh Allen and the Bills get it done. Win by 3, 27-24 for the Ravens. 1 p.m. on Fox, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. As much as I can't stand the Cowboys, wish this wasn't the case. I think the Cowboys will beat Washington. Cooper Rush is getting it done at quarterback, and maybe could be a quarterback controversy. I don't know. Jerry Jones says that he would love that because that means the Cowboys are winning. I still think Dak Prescott's his team. He'll get it done. He'll get the job back. But if he keeps winning, you never know. They might let the dice roll, let Cooper Rush see where the luck continues. But I think Carson Wentz at Washington Commanders, which is still a weird team. I'd rather watch a football team over the Commanders. Is like a weird kind of like minor league football sounded day. But I think Washington stinks. Carson Wentz and company are very mediocre at offense. I don't think he's the answer in Washington, and I think the Cowboys, they're going to get it done. Cooper Rush will do enough. Micah Parsons, that defense is really getting top-notch, especially with the pass rush. Parsons is like a young Lawrence Taylor's prime. It'll be very hard to stop him. Ezekiel Elliott and the offense and C.D. Lamb and company, they had a big drop the other day, but also had a big one-handed touchdown on Monday Night Football against the Giants. Cowboys offense is going to roll over Washington at home. I'll go 31-17. They win by 2 touchdowns over their division rivals. 1 p.m. on Fox, we go with Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. I'll go with the Lions at home. Dan Campbell will have you run through a brick wall. He'll motivate the heck out of you. I love watching the Lions on Hard Knocks. Jared Goff and that offense is playing pretty well. The running game's playing pretty well. Defense is pretty strong. They have that first-round pick from University of Michigan hometown kid, Hutchinson. But I think the Lions' offense is really been clicking lately. I go with the Lions over the Seahawks, which offense is very limited. When you have Geno Smith as a starting quarterback, that's going to happen. As much as Pete Carroll would like to win these games, he's going to have to win very low-scoring games. I think the Lions put up some points. I'll go on the Lions win 34-22. They win by 12 over the Seahawks. 1 p.m. on CBS, the LA Chargers with Justin Herbert and company coming off those broken ribs. Played in the game anyway. They got beat up by the Jacksonville Jaguars, by Buddy Dantz's Jaguars. Crushed the Chargers and dominated. But the Chargers go on the road to play the Houston Texans. Texans have played some close, low-scoring games, but yeah, the Chargers should really wipe the floor with the Texans, and I don't think it will be close. Justin Herbert, the Chargers will put up some big points. Texans have no answer for them. I'll go with the Chargers beating the Texans. I'm gonna go with 37-13, 24-point ass kicking, basically butt kicking over the Houston Texans. Justin Herbert, hopefully he'll end up and that offense can be dynamic, especially against a bad Houston Texans team. 1 p.m. on Fox, the Tennessee Titans at the Colts. Titans had a nice big win. Finally got on the win column this year after losing the Giants on 2-point conversion. Got crushed by the Bills on Monday Night Football the week after. They beat the Raiders, almost blew that lead, but they beat the Raiders by 2 points, and the Raiders couldn't get the 2-point conversion last week. It was a nice home win in Nashville. But now the Titans go on the road to play the Colts, who looked like they were terrible because they tied with the Texans week 1, got crushed by the Jaguars in week 2, who seems to have their number no matter what. But this time, Matt Ryan, the Colts came back, held Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs' dynamic offense in check, and the Colts actually upset the Chiefs last week. Got that one bigly wrong, as the former president would say. But this will be interesting. Division rivals, Titans at the Colts. I'm going to go with the Titans here to go on the road in an ugly, hard-fought game. Derrick Henry running game will get it done. The defense will be solid. Colts, they won a close game over the Chiefs. It was very impressive, but I still don't really buy into the Colts. I think they're pretty mediocre this year. I think Matt Ryan is pretty mediocre with what he can do. He's not in this prime anymore. Like we won MVP with the Falcons a few years back and then blew that big Super Bowl 28-3 lead over Brady and the Patriots. I'm going to say the Titans. It'll be ugly, but they'll win it 23-20 over the Colts on the road. 1 p.m. on Fox, the Bears at the New York Giants. Both have winning records. I think both teams are 2-1, but it's been ugly wins. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I'm gonna say the Giants get it done. They came close to beating the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. They played them tough. They had 2 nice wins, even though they were ugly, low-scoring games over the Titans in week 1 with the 2-point conversion. Saquon Barkley played much better, running the ball very well. Daniel Jones not playing great, but doing a decent job with Brian Dable's offense. And then beating the Baker Mayfield and the Panthers in week 2. Like I said, they didn't play terrible against the Cowboys. Cooper Rush keeps winning in the backcourt. The Cowboys, big-time pass rush with Micah Parsons. But I think the Giants at home will get it done over Justin Fields and the Bears, who are pretty mediocre in my mind. It probably will be an ugly game. I'll go with 16-13. Giants win by 3 over the Bears. 1 p.m. on CBS, Dan's Jacksonville Jaguars. What's his name? The great, he looks like a handsome with long hair. Trevor Lawrence, star quarterback. Wish the Jets would have gotten him. They would have kept losing the games and taking like they should have. A couple years ago, the Jaguars, he was Offensive Player of the Week. Jaguars play at the Eagles. Doug Peterson's homecoming return to Philly, Lincoln Financial Field this weekend, which you think he'd get mostly cheers. He led them to a Super Bowl victory, their only Super Bowl win 5 years ago over the Patriots with Brady and company and Belichick. And they won with Nick Foles back correct when Wentz got hurt. But, Eagle fans, I'm sure they might give him a little bit of a stand ovation, but they also might boo the heck out of him because that's what some Eagle fans do. But it'll be his return to Philly. I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win here. I think the Jaguars are dangerous. They spent a lot of money in free agency. They got Christian Kirk, a lot of big offensive players. Defense played pretty well. Trevor Lawrence really looks like he's not a bust. He's going to get it done. He has help and an offensive-minded coach, Doug Peterson. But I think the Eagles are going to be ready. Jalen Hurts is playing amazing. They're 3-0. They crushed Washington last week. They crushed the Vikings in week 2. They beat the Lions in week 1. They scored a lot of points. Not always in the second half. Second half, they seem to cool off a little bit. But I think the Eagles' offense is dynamic. The defense is top-notch. Jalen Hurts and company is going to get it done. And they're going to beat their former coach, Doug Peterson company. I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Jaguars in a little bit of a high-scoring game. I'm going to go with... I was about to say 30. I'm not going to go with 30. I'll go with 27-23. They win by 4 points over the Jaguars. Eagles stay undefeated. The only undefeated football. I think they'll move to 4-0 in the city of brotherly love. Then the last 1 o'clock games. This is the game that we're going to, my wife and I. My Jets, who are 1-2 after their miraculous 2-touchdown comeback late in the game against the Browns, or else they'd be 0-3. But they came back in 90 seconds from down by 13-1. But then last week beat up by the Cincinnati Bengals, who at 0-2 they were bound to win a game. And they retired Nick Mangold's number in New York. That was cool. They play at the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Alumni Week, and a lot of great Steeler players could be in attendance. 1-2 Steelers who've been playing pretty struggling mightily. Barely beat the Browns in week 1. Lost to the Patriots in their home opener 2 weeks ago. That was an ugly game. And then got beat up in an ugly game against the Browns on Thursday Night Football. They've had 10 days to think about it. I still think Mitchell Trubisky is not the answer. I think Mitchell Trubisky will be replaced at quarterback at some point in the near future. If they lose this game, I think they might panic as much as Tomlin doesn't want to be told what to do. I think the sky might be falling. I think at that point, if they lose 3 in a row, they probably will pull the trigger and sit Mitch Trubisky and let Kenny Pickett, who at least, he can run the ball, run around a lot. He has better mobility than Trubisky. He can throw the ball pretty well. Let's see what the kid can do even to make some mistakes. Meanwhile, Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, also, he might need to go as much as Tom might love him. The offensive play calling is way too conservative with all these great offensive weapons. The great rookie receiver George Pickens with one-hand grab on Thursday Night Football last week against the Browns. Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris. You have Vermouth at tight end. You have a lot of good offensive weapons. You need a good, I know the offensive line's not great in Pittsburgh, but you need an offensive line. You need a great, at least not a great quarterback, but a solid quarterback. Even Ben Roethlisberger towards the end, he was great quarterback for a lot of his career, but towards the end he was mediocre. You need a guy who just is competent at quarterback and you trust. Trubisky, they want him to be a game manager, and they don't trust him to throw the ball downfield. And Matt Canada, let it fly, or as you might be leaving anyway and be fired. And Trubisky, go for it, because you're probably going to lose your job soon to Kenny Pickett. The local fans are going to want the University of Pittsburgh, the local college kid, to get to play. So I think if the Steelers lose, I think Pickett becomes a starting right, and maybe he'll get to play anyway. Very interesting game. Zach Wilson is back he hurt his knee first preseason game against the Eagles. Had what's supposed to be minor knee surgery, didn't blow out his knee, so he's out for the whole year. Joe Flacco did a decent job, not very mobile, but threw the ball pretty well, had some 300-yard games, helped them get that big win against the Browns a couple weeks ago. But it's just mediocre at this point. He's not in the prime of his career when he won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. And even then, I thought he was, at times great that playoff run, but only mediocre sometimes. But Joe Flacco's had a solid career. But Zach Wilson gets to be the starter again. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully he doesn't miss any more games. He only missed the 3 games. But Jets at Steelers, it's a tough one. Probably, I'll be rooting for the Jets. I'll be where it's like Jets and Steelers, because I like both teams, and I like my wife's team as well, and I want her to feel good. Because it's going to be like, who's going to sleep on the couch bowl, basically. Either team positive unless they tie. One of our teams has to win. So one of our teams is going to be in a crappy situation, be 1-3, 4 games in the season, and going nowhere. And the other team will have, even if it's false hope, some hope, because they'll be 2-2, 500, and you at least think they have some hope with 13 games to go. I'm going to say the Steelers get it done at home. It's not going to be easy. But I say it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go 20-17. Chris Boswell, probably their best weapon right now, at their star field goal kicker. He'll hit a winning field goal late in that game, 20-17 over the Jets. Jets, be interested to see how the offense works now with Zach Wilson. They do have some nice young offensive weapons. Garrett Wilson, the young receiver they drafted from Ohio State, looks like the real deal. We'll see what Zach Wilson can do, but so far, it was only, young quarterback rookie year last year was just mediocre. Let's see, but I think the Steelers, at least he doesn't have to face TJ Watt, because he's still hurt, but hopefully he'll be back soon with the pec injury. But still, Steelers defense and Minka Fitzpatrick, a ball hawk at safety. he's going to probably make some turnovers, Zach Wilson, and I think in the end the Steelers will get it done. Mitchell Trubisky, as a game manager, he won't really lose the game, but he won't really win it. And I still think Kenny Pickett's going to be the answer at some point. And I don't like the offensive play calling by Matt Canada. I think it's way too conservative. I think Steelers win ugly 20-17 on a last-second possible field goal over my JTS Jets. But I'm still going to be rooting for the Jets. But I'll be a much happier drive home if my wife's team wins. I'll admit that. So now for the 3-4 o'clock games, 4:05 on Fox, the Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, after getting a nice comeback win against the Raiders, they're 1-1, and they got blown out the Chiefs in week 1, but came back, beat the Raiders in week 2, but then got beat up by LA Rams last week, Sean McVay and company. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, it still looks like a very flawed team. Playing at the Panthers, Baker Mayfield's Panthers doing mediocre, but I still think in the end, the Panthers, I think, finally got a win last week, so they're 1-2. I think the Cardinals are going to find a way to win this game on the road in Carolina. I think they'll move to 2-2. It'd be interesting to see Kyler Murray versus Baker Mayfield in this situation. I think Cardinals will put up some points. They're both flawed teams. I think in the end I'll go with 26 to 20. I'll go with Cardinals over the Panthers. Win by 6. 4:25 on CBS. Patriots at the Packers. I'm going to go by the Packers by 1,000,000. I know Bill Belichick's a proud guy, proud head coach, but I still think as great of a head coach he is, great a defensive mind he is. It still has a lot more to do with Tom Brady, because without Tom Brady, they're very mediocre. Lost the Ravens last week. They're 1-2. Probably should also see it was in the second game. It could be 0-3. And really, the people knowing the sky's fallen. On the road to play the Packers, who just came off a big win over Tom Brady and the Bucs in Tampa. They almost blew that game, but they held on, beat Tampa, and potentially the last time you'll ever see the great Brady versus Aaron Rodgers matchup. But after losing that first week of the season against the Kirk Cousins of the Vikings, just like last year when they lost the first game of the season to the Saints and it looked bad and like everything was falling. I know he doesn't have a star receiver, Devontae Adams, he's with a lot of young receivers, but in the end, Aaron Rodgers is still a heck of a quarterback. Back-to-back MVPs. He's still going to get it done, and he got it done against Brady and the Bucs last week. They're 2-1. They're going to get to 3-1. Patriots, Mac Jones is going to be out this week. Might be out for a while with a high ankle sprain. Even with him, the offense stinks now. Brian Hoyer's going to be the quarterback. So unless they have the greatest defensive plan ever, or if Aaron Rodgers, would not be able to get out of this game healthy, but as long as he stays healthy, I don't think you can slow down the Packers. They'll do enough offensively. Patriots aren't going to be able to do anything offensively. So unless it's the greatest defensive game and plan of his life for Belichick, I'm going to go with the Packers to win bigly. I'm going to go with 30-13. They win by 17 over the Patriots. And Bill Belichick, your Patriots stink. So look out. And Mac Jones is not the answer quarterback. And you're not going to be doing as well as you thought you would now that you push Brady out the door, and look how bad it's gone for you. Not that sad, because the Patriots dominated my Jets year after year, hammering the nail, crushing my Jets, and now the Patriots are basically just as bad as my Jets. So, touche. We both stink. The last of the 4 o'clock games, 4:25 on CBS. Denver Broncos at the Raiders. I don't know what's wrong with the Broncos offense. They could be 3-0 though, but they're 2-1. They've won 2 games ugly. Beat the Texans ugly after losing that tough game in his return to Seattle against Geno Smith. 17-16 with the field goal instead of going 4th and 5. But Russell Wilson's offense is not really moving well. Nathaniel Hackett, the young coach, he even got a guy to help him with the clock management. And then they won last week in a comeback win over the 49ers on the road, 11-10. It was a very ugly game, but they got it done when they needed to. They scored a last-minute touchdown over Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. Now Trey Lance is out for the year. But they play on the road at the Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, I'm going to say the Raiders are due. I might be drinking the Kool-Aid, but the Raiders 0-3. I know it's looked bad. Devontae Adams put up some good numbers. Derek Carr put up some good numbers, but it's not been enough. I can't imagine them going 0-4. Josh McDaniels and company and the Raiders, and they have too much talent offensively and defensively. And I think the Broncos right now, maybe they'll correct themselves, and they're 2-1. But Russell Wilson, that offense, they look flawed right now. Eli Manning was joking the other day that he thinks the punter is more valuable than Russell Wilson, who's making $250 million guaranteed. Maybe we should give him the punter $250 million. I know he's being silly about that, Mr. Chad Powers, but I think in the end, the Raiders are going to get it done. They'll score enough points with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr. Broncos, the offense, I think, is still going to struggle. Russell Wilson's still trying to find that offense. Even though I still think he's a heck of a player, but I think something's amiss with that offense. I'm going to go with the Raiders over the Broncos. If the game was in Denver, I would go with Denver. But the Raiders in Vegas will get it done. I'll roll the dice. I'm going to go with 20-13. They win by a touchdown and get their first win of the year at 1-3. But right now, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But I can't imagine going for 20-13. Raiders beat the Broncos. That's the last of the afternoon games. Then Sunday Night Football on NBC, 8:20. It seems like they're going to play this game. They're not going to move the venue, even though I thought they would because of the horrible hurricane. Hopefully everyone's safe there. And the destruction you've seen is just look terrifying. But it's going to be Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It could be the game of the day. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl from 2 years ago. Pat Mahomes versus Tom Brady, where the old wise one, Mr. Yoda himself, Tom Brady, beat Pat Mahomes, the superstar Chiefs quarterback, and they got that win. Now it's in Tampa. I'm going to go with, this will be interesting. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. Maybe I'm crazy here, but I think that this is a tough stretch for Brady. Had to face Aaron Rodgers, almost came back and beat him, but now and lost that one. But now they played the Chiefs, who are coming off a bad loss to the Colts, and maybe the Chiefs will lose again here. But I think Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster and that offense will do enough, even though they're still missing Tyreek Hill, who they lost in the offseason to the Miami Dolphins. I think the Chiefs offense will do enough. I think Brady and the Buccaneers offense has been very mediocre. I'm going to say the Buccaneers defense is pretty solid, so they're going to have to protect Pat Mahomes, unlike they did in the Super Bowl where he was running for his life, and it didn't go well for the Chiefs. And Pat Mahomes looked mortal in that game. I'm going to say it's going to be closer and lower scoring than you would think. It won't be a big offensive explosion by either team. I'm going to say the Chiefs win 20-17, low scoring, 3-point win over Brady and the Bucs on the road in Tampa. And then there'll be some craziness where people will be like, what's going on with Brady and Tampa losing 2 in a row? But it's also going to say Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes, 2 future Super Bowl champion Hall of Famers that he's about to lose to. And then Monday night, October 3rd, 8:15 on ESPN. Should be a good NFC West match, a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game that the 49ers almost won with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. It's in San Francisco. Rams at 49ers. 49ers sometimes... the 49ers sometimes have had the Rams number, and they have such a physical way of playing football. But I think in the end, I'm going to go with Sean McVay and the Rams. They're going to get it done. Too much offensive power with Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford and company. And of course, the beast on defense, Aaron Donald, who's just a superstar, former Pitt Panther in college. And I see some of his stuff when we go to the game tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. And the Rams, I'm going to say, beat the 49ers. It's going to be an ugly, close game like it was in their matchups last season and in, of course, the championship game that got them to the Super Bowl that the Rams would win. I'm going to say the Rams are going to win this game. I'm going to go with 26 to 20. They win by 6 over the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's playing decent, and probably gives them a better chance than Trey Lance. It'll be a very physical game. I'm going to say the Rams get it done, though. 26-20. Sean McVay and company will do enough offensively. And Aaron Donald will get a big play on defense. Maybe Jalen Ramsey gets a big turnover against Garoppolo if he forces it late. And I think the Rams hold on and beat the Niners 26-20. So, again, my picks for this week are... in London, Vikings over the Saints, pip cheerio. Vikings over the Saints, Browns over the Falcons, Bills over the Ravens, Cowboys over Washington, Lions over the Seahawks, Chargers over the Texans bigly, Titans over the Colts, Giants over the Bears in a close one, Eagles over the Jaguars. I wish I could say the Jets, but I keep saying the Jets will lose, and maybe it will turn my favor and the Jets will win. Steelers, I'm going to go with Steelers over the Jets. My wife will be very happy on the drive back. Cardinals over the Panthers. Packers crushing the Sticky Patriots. That makes me happy. Raiders over the Broncos get the first win of the year. Chiefs over the Buccaneers over Pat Mahomes over Brady. And then Rams over the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So those are our picks for week 4 of the NFL season. It's flying right by. They don't call me in the morning. It's not a tumor. And things of that nature. Hasta la vista, baby. So if you love to think if you think I'm crazy, you believe my picks, disagree, I'll post them again on Sunday, the day of the games. I'd love to hear from you, Joe Aber and company who've been commenting on it. I very much appreciate your input and love to hear your ideas of who you think are going to win these games. And we have a nice back and forth, so I like that. So we communicate with the listeners, so I enjoy that. So those are my week 4 NFL picks. Enjoy Penn State. Enjoy the Penn State game. Enjoy the Pitt Panther game. That will be fun tomorrow night. Syracuse football will be fun. So enjoy college football. And then enjoy your football Sunday, and stay dry with all the rain. Stay safe with the hurricane. Welcome to October. Basketball, hockey is coming back. Very exciting. It seems like their season just ended. It's almost right around the corner, and then playoff baseball will be here, and that's exciting. And hopefully Yankees, Mets, Phillies will do great. Mariners finally got in the playoffs, first time in 21 years. Live on the show, got to see the walk-off homer. Congrats to them. And Judge hopefully get his 62nd homer. Already got 61-time errors. Pujols keeps hitting home runs. He's at 701 after hitting one of the Pirates. And Miguel Andujar, Miggy, is finally getting a chance to play now that the Yankees cut him. Going back and forth between New York and the Rail Riders. Love to see him playing for the Rail Riders, but he deserved to be in the big leagues. And since they've gone him, the Pirates picked him up. He's played well. He's hitting the ball, crushing doubles, and looks like a nice pickup. I always joke with my brother, like, you gotta go to a bad team that's desperate, that doesn't have many options, and give him a chance to play every day. He'll hit for you. So McGee's doing well. Hopefully he continues that. Miguel Andujar, we'll miss him on the Yankees, but I can watch him on TV with the Pirates. And of course, O'Neal Cruz is still crushing the balls. The Pirates have some solid young players. So playoff baseball can't beat it. Baseball, as we get down to the nitty gritty of the season, is gonna be exciting. And then of course, football Sundays. That's the greatest. Especially now we have some of these international games. You're gonna have over 12 hours of football just to vegetate and chill on your couch and enjoy all the games. So enjoy it. Enjoy the first weekend in October, and then let's enjoy. I'll hopefully have a fun Pittsburgh trip with college and the NFL game with my Jets and Steelers, and very excited, and my 36th birthday. But it'll be all good, and keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for all your favorite sports, entertainment talk. Wrap it up with a quick song from my amazing wife, Abby. Love you all my heart. Lorelai and LJ, my beautiful daughter and son. Love you guys with all my heart. I'm going to sing from Zach Brown. You make loving you easy. You make loving you all I want to do. Every little smile and every single touch. George Costanza reminds me just how much it all makes loving you easy. I'll sing it again. Please don't. Easy. Love you, Abby, Lorelai, LJ. Love you guys with all my heart. Keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk, right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the TV shows that are coming back for the fall shows. Very excited to see those. The Cobra Kai, still watching that. That movie Bros looks really good. The Creepy Smile movie, the horror movie, that looks pretty good, but a little freaky to scare you. Reaper's Revenge, all the what is it, the Horror Hall and Nana Coke. Some cool scares you can enjoy as we get close to the Halloween season now that we're in October. Be here before you know it, and then it goes right from Thanksgiving. Sometimes Halloween, they forget even about Thanksgiving. They go right to Christmas. So it's crazy. So it'll be here before you know it, all the crazy holidays. But Halloween season's fun. Hocus Pocus 2, 29 years later on Disney Plus. Check that out this weekend. So a lot of good movies, a lot of good shows. Nick Kroll's a very funny stand-up comedy special on Netflix. Check that out. So some good new Marilyn Monroe movie on Netflix. So some good movies, good shows, and Communities, that funny show on NBC that from years ago. That's gonna have a movie on Peacock before you know it. And Saturday Night Live comes back new later tonight on Saturday, October 1st, for my birthday. Miles Teller from Top Gun 2 fame. Top Gun Maverick fame, he'll be hosting, and Kendrick Lamar will be musical guest. So Saturday Night Live is back for season 48, and a lot of the stars have left, including Pete Davidson and Kate McKinnon, but it should still be a funny time. And then for the kids, you can go on Peacock and watch the new Minions movie for free, Rise of Gru, and Super Pets on HBO Max. So that's about it. That's all I have for you today. Trevor Noah's leaving The Daily Show after 7 years. That was crazy. That was abrupt that they found out about that. But yeah. Hope you had your National Coffee Day, and I'm not giving in and putting heat on until November. I don't care how much I freeze. And it's National Pizza Month with October, so I'm going to fit this whole pizza in my mouth. That's the kind of exercise I like. So keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for your favorite sports entertainment talk, right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Happy birthday to me, 36 years old. Have a great weekend, and take care. Bye-bye.